What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814 EDC, and today I'm ready to do my full review on the CJRB Ekko. So this is a budget offering, of course, coming from CJRB, and this is a Ray Laconico design. So it's another awesome design by Ray. I really like Ray's design language. I've had a few of his designs on the channel before, and I was pretty excited for this to come out. I bought it right away, and I enjoyed this knife. I really do. I'm going to get it right out there. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. My knife collection is pretty fluid. There's a lot of stuff that comes and goes pretty quickly. And there's knives that I think I'm going to buy and I keep that I end up selling, trading, so on and so forth. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this, but I will say it is a budget knife of the year contender, I think. And I think a lot of other people think that as well. It's really good for the price. And there's different variations of it. There's different locks you can get for it. It's just a good knife. And Ray is just, I think, the king of making clean and simple and no frills, but very usable sort of designs. That's kind of what I think of when I think of Ray, is just, nothing too exciting, but they're always the lines are clean. They're always very usable, very utilitarian, and that's why I appreciate him, and I like a lot of his designs is for that reason. But getting into it, this specific model that I have here is in green micarta. You guys can see with the brass pivot collars on both sides, which is nice. Of course, I have the liner lock version, and the other version you can get is a button lock, but I decided to go with the liner lock. Plenty of lock bar access. These micarta scales are nicely contoured. You guys can see they're kind of rounded. Lefty carry on the pot clip, which is nice. The pot clip on this that it comes with originally is a loop over style deep carry steel clip, but I saw Kevin over at Lefty EDC talk about how someone told him that there are pot clips on Amazon, supposedly titanium. You can get 2 for $8, I think it was, or 2 for $9. They come in a pack, and they fit on the Ekko. So when I saw that, I saw that video that he posted, he linked the Amazon posting of these. So I went down and bought some. I won't say that they're the best in the world. They definitely look good. I think they up the aesthetic of this knife a little bit. The steel clip works very well, but I think that the titanium milled clip definitely looks a little bit classier on this knife. But I'm not going to say that they're the best titanium clips in the world. They kind of, tap a little bit, and I think they're definitely soft. If they really are titanium, they're super soft. You could probably bend this with your fingers, but I haven't had any issues with it yet. I'll talk more about that on carry, but I just want to say that is not the original clip that it comes on, but it's one that I threw on there. As for internal milling, there is not much internal milling at all, but it's a pretty lightweight knife. I don't know the very specific weight on this, but it's pretty lightweight. Of course, it's a liner lock. Like I said, there are some standoffs back here. The blade steel is AR RPM 9, which is CJRB's in-house steel. I've always had good experiences with it. I think it's a pretty dang good, especially budget steel in this $50 to $60 price point. CJRB right there. The blade shape is sort of I'd say it's a sheep's foot. It has a little bit of belly here, but then it drops off, as opposed to like a reverse tanto, just because it's kind of upswept with that belly. You have, I believe that's a sharpening shoulder down there, but it's nice because it's kind of like, instead of having just the blade straight out here, you have a little bit of disconnect, and I like that. Jimping up top here, and of course you have the hole and the front flipper. But I think that's all for materials. I think before I move on, you can get the liner lock version, and I think carbon fiber, JG10, and this version of micarta. And then they also have the button lock, like I said, which I think you can get in all the different versions as well, same as the micarta. And there's also something I want to talk about real quick is, I'll talk about this at the end, I guess, before I say if I recommend it or not. So we're going to move on to action. Middle finger flick on the action works very well. Flies right out of there. The D10 is nice and sappy. I will say I have a little bit of blade play with this. I've had a little bit of an issue with a walking pivot. I've tried to Loctite it, I think 2 or 3 times now, and it just keeps coming loose. I might have to fine tune it a little bit more, but that is something I just want to note. But thumb flake works well. Middle finger flake works well. The detent, you guys can hear it snapping back into place. Also works very, very well. The front flipper also, again, works very, very well. You have plenty of real estate to land on, and it just pops right out. Awesome access to the liner lock. You guys can see, drops to your nail, and then one or two shakes, it's home. In the way. Very, very smooth. And again, I don't have it locked up super duper tight, so there is a little bit of blade play. But even when I had it, tuned up right after I got done Loctiting it, letting it sit for a while, and it was no play at all, it was still very, very smooth, but very snappy. Middle finger flick, thumb flick, slow roll, and of course the front flip. So action's very, very good. No complaints at all there. So we're gonna move on next to what do I do next? I'm having a brain fart. Carry or ergos? Ergos. It's a pretty thin knife. You do have a little bit of contouring on the scales, which makes it a little bit wider and a little bit taller. But all in all, it's a very neutral handle. I mean, it's pretty much, it swells here towards the middle and then it tapers off, but it's very, very minimalistic, very neutral. And then down here, it's pretty much a straight line except for this finger indentation. And choked back, I can get all 4 fingers on here very easily, very comfortably. You do have a little bit of jimping here, but that's more so for the front flipper than, it's not really gripping my thumb too much when I'm using it, but very comfortable. And then you can kind of move up here onto this landing choil per se, and I get even more of a lockdown grip, and I have plenty of knife sticking out the back there. This is great for doing specific push cuts, or if you want to do a pinch grip. I like using the pinch grip for this because my pointer finger, which I use to direct the blade through material, lands right here at the top point of where the blades start to taper off, and I can do some really good label cutting, or just anything specific that I'm going to be kind of cutting around. I have great control with my pointer finger up there. Micarta feels really good. It's not the best micarta in the world. Again, it's for the price point, it's like a $55 knife. You can't really complain too much, but I think that Kaiser does a better budget micarta. But this is not bad to say. I'm not trying to talk shit on it or anything like that. It's just a little bit maybe dry. It has softened up a little bit with my oils for me carrying it and whatnot. But for the price, it's very much adamant. It's not bad by any means. But just something I kind of wanted to, talk about with you guys. But, the contouring makes for a great ergo experience, choked up. You can do, reverse cuts, anything like that. You're going to be doing some 7-Eleven gas station knife fights on Saturday night over your Slurpee with Kevin. It will probably work decently well for it. Probably want something a little bit maybe more tactical, but it would get it done in a pinch. And again, you can switch your pocket clip to lefty. So if you are left-handed, you can do that and use that as well. That would obviously change your ergo experience for a left-handed person, but they're used to it by now. But the milled clip on here, I would say it still stands up, and you can definitely feel it when you're in the standard grip, and maybe even a little bit less in the choked up grip. But you can still feel it a little bit, but I will say it's better than the milled clip. Excuse me, this is the milled clip. It's better than the loop over style deep carry steel clip. And that's still not even a bad ergo clip. If you've ever felt a CJRB steel deep carry clip, they all feel the same, and they're all the same. And you guys kind of know what they feel like by now. But it's definitely, you can feel it a little bit there. But this mill clip makes it a better ergo experience. And when you're choked up like this, you can really barely feel it at all. But when you're choked back, you can still kind of feel it, but not bad by any means. So next up, we're going to talk about carry. And the carry got a little bit worse with the milled clip because you have about this much sticking up out of your pocket, because with the loop over style deep carry clip, it was almost past the butt end of the knife, so this thing rode very deep into the pocket. But even with the milled clip, it still carries well, easy in a pocket. Again, I don't know how much tension this has. I think you could bend it pretty easily if you really wanted to, but for what I need to do for sliding in and out of pockets, it's worked well so far. Lefty or righty carry for like the third time, but drops down in your pocket. and you have nothing here but contoured scales, you have no flipper tab or anything like that. It's gonna, you know, if you're gonna be reaching down in your pocket for coins, change, chapstick, whatever it may be, you don't have to risk sort of when you come up pulling your knife up out of your pocket with a flipper tab. No jimping or anything like that. I've only carried this in, no, I take that back. I've carried it in gym shorts quite a few times around the house, and I've carried it in khaki shorts a couple different times, and I think even jeans once. I think I had this in when it was still pretty chilly and I wore jeans, but it carries well, you know, no complaints at all. It's a pretty nice, small, slim package. I don't know the weight on it, but like I said, there's no internal milling, but I don't think it needs it. You know, for the size of the knife and everything like that, I can't really, you know, I don't pick it up and I don't go, or I pick it up and I don't go like, oh, this is so heavy, I wish I had weight reduction or something like that. So all in all, carry is pretty good. You know, it's going to be better with the standard clip, but with the Mo clip, it's still not bad at all. So that takes me to my final category of price point and what I recommend this knife. So price point, I believe these go for like $55, $56, $57. And if you can find them on a website that accepts a code like White Mountain Knives, you get 10% off. So that takes it down to like a $50 knife. And I think all day, this is worth $50. You know, you're getting good build quality. CJRB is good at what they do. They make some really good budget knives. You know, you're getting AR RPM 9 steel, you're getting green canvas micarta, you're getting a loop over style deep carry steel clip that is not currently on the knife because, again, milled clip life. But great action, great detent, great blade shape. I really love the blade shape that Ray designed on this. It's very usable. You have a nice amount of belly, but you also have a tip that's good for piercing things, cutting through things. And the hole and the front flipper combo is always a welcome sight. I love that as well. And so I think for the price, it's absolutely worth it. And I can absolutely recommend it. Like I said, I think it's a budget knife of the year contender for me and for a lot of other people. So I can recommend it all day, every day. But there is something I want to talk about real quick, revolving around the knife, but not this model in general. So Blade Show 2023 just happened last weekend. And Jason, Puerto Rican with a knife, I think he was the only one that got it. I think so. I think he's the only one that bought it for himself. But CJRB and Artisan had a Blade Show special. They had the button lock version of this knife with titanium scales, same AR RPM 9 steel, everything like that, but it was a button lock version with titanium handle scales. And they were selling it as a Blade Show exclusive for $100. Well, flash forward to, I don't even know if Blade Show was technically over yet, but CJRB had put the same titanium Blade Show exclusive button lock Echoes on their website for, I believe, $79.99. So that's $20 cheaper than what people at the show that drove to Blade Show, that spent their money to go there, that bought tickets to go and support these, you know, companies, and they put it on there for $20 cheaper. And I think you can get like a 10%, like first, if you sign up for an email, you get a 10% code. So that's dropping it down to $70, basically, right around there, $72, something like that. I just think that's kind of shitty on CJRB's part. Like, it's one thing to put them on sale for the same price after the show was over, but to have them on sale for $20+ cheaper than what people at the show are paying for, I think that's just kind of, you know, shitty. I think it's kind of a scummy thing to do by CJRB. And I'm not a huge fan of that, so I just wanted to get that out there. I'm still going to support the knife, and I still am going to buy some models in the future. Like, not CJRB, but Artisan is coming out with one that is a Cerberus knife designed that looks really good in the future of this year. But I just wanted to kind of get that out to you guys and to, kind of give my thoughts on it, because I think that's just kind of a crappy thing to do. Like, why would you have people that are spending their hard-earned money driving to the show, flying to the show, staying in hotels, spending the whole weekend down there, excuse me, to support companies like CJRB, and why would you charge people online? Like I could have gone on there and got one for $20+ less, and I just think that's kind of crappy. So, but regardless, the Ekko is a fantastic knife all in all. Button lock I have not experienced, but the liner lock for sure is a good knife. Well worth the money. I'll try to find one in stock on like White Mountain or something like that and link it down below to you guys. And if I can, please use someone's code like Lefty10 for 10% off your purchase. But this was my full review on the CJRB Ekko. Another great Laconico design. He just comes out with, it seems like 2 or 3 a year with different budget companies that is really good. Earlier he had the, excuse me, I didn't bring a water with me, but I'm starting to get kind of thirsty. But earlier he had the Sakoki with CVV that also did really well. I didn't handle it yet, but I would like to at some point. And now he has this, and I think he has something else coming out later this year, but I'm not certain. But regardless, another great design in Ray's hat. So thank you, Ray, for always producing cool designs. And yeah, leave a comment down below. What are your guys' thoughts on the Ekko? Do you have one? And if you do, is it the liner lock or is it the button lock? Love to hear what you guys have to say. But I'm going to wrap this up now. So thank you guys again so much for watching. You know, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I'm slowly getting to 1,000 subs. I think I'm just over 960. So I have about 40 to go. But we're going to get there sooner than later. And as always, thank you guys. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.